Hello everyone, my name is Mojis. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble news channel. What about the idea that one day all money will be Bitcoin? Yes, it is possible. That's not going to happen for a very long time. Is there something else that is better, faster, or less expensive? In other words, are stablecoins better for that? Yeah, kind of. But, Bitcoin might be fully grown at some point and the price won't change. That's right, yes. Yes? Now, all the people who are buying it to get rich should stop and say, no, the price has to go up. And I need it to go up. No, what you need is for the network's value to go up and your share of ownership to grow. Bitcoin's recent price drop happened at the same time that the number of BTC owned by the world's richest people went down by a small amount. The amount of supply owned by whales with at least 100,000 BTC has gone down by 0.2% in the past 48 hours. This means that these buyers are either moving their money to smaller addresses or cashing out altogether. Still, in the past few months, more and more people with amounts between 10,000 and 100,000 BTC and 1,000 to 10,000 BTC have been buying Bitcoin. From a technical point of view, Bitcoin started to fall after it hit a temporary support level around $70,000. Since the middle of March, the coin has not been able to close above this level. This level of resistance looks like the top of Bitcoin's current inverted head and shoulders pattern. When the price breaks above the neckline and rises by as much as the largest distance between the pattern's lowest point and the neckline, this classic bullish reversal setting ends. Bitcoin's main upside goal for July is over $90,000 if the inverted head and shoulders pattern works as planned. On the other hand, if the price of Bitcoin falls below the neckline, it could head toward its 50-day exponential moving average, which is set at around $66,640. The important thing is that I thought it was over when BlackRock sent in their application on June 15, 2017. It's taking place. Someone will agree with it. I even said when it would happen, right? I lied and said January 8th, so feel free to sue me. But I said this would happen, so why was I so sure? Once BlackRock said yes, we're in, there were others who didn't want this to happen. What does this mean? In this case, it means making a new banking system based on blockchain. They don't really want that because they like the way things are now, where they are looking for or taking rent. They said, we're in, and they meant it. Why did that matter now? Because by January, there were about $30 trillion in assets owned by boomers, mostly boomer assets that were managed by financial planners. Okay, those financial advisors were told they had to get off zero, and they had to do it quick. 10 basis points or $30 billion is zero. The price of Bitcoin would change if $30 billion was added, but 1% is 300 billion, which isn't even a crazy number. There has never been more money than 300 billion Bitcoin in its first 15 years of existence. More money, also known as cash, has ever been turned into Bitcoin. There are those who say no, it was a $1 trillion treasure. I said, yeah, but $1 trillion haven't gone in yet. Okay, not even 200 billion have been turned into Bitcoin yet. The rest is made up of bid-ask spread, gain, network growth, and Metcalfe's law growth. So big changes are going to happen if you add 300 billion to an asset that hasn't had 300 billion added to it yet. There is a great movie out there, I saw it yesterday, but this is funny. For sure, that's what the video showed, a kid buying something on the Silk Road. It looks like he found 55,000 Bitcoin in his wallet in the end, right? They did the math and found that he was making $320 million. He then plans everything, like which party will cost the most and which boat will be the biggest. Then he asks, how do I get my Bitcoin to cash after doing what it says? He copies the address, pastes it, hits go, and his Bitcoin is gone. He then looks at the video, which tells him to make sure that he copied the whole address. And it looks like they copied everything except the last letter. Wow, I'm sure it's not true, but that did happen, right? Someone sent a lot of Bitcoin to the wrong address by mistake, and it can't be taken back. In other words, think of it as a gift to the community, as Satoshi would say. This is the kind of thing that these baskets holders or cars for moving things around can be used for. That's because you did that while being a trustee. You copied everything up to the last letter and sent money from a client to what you thought was Coinbase, but it ended up in the ether. That's not good, right? So the idea is that you can do business in this wrapper and someone else the ETF that is. Yes, the ETF, that's why I thought it was over when BlackRock turned in their application on June 15, 2017. It's taking place. Someone will agree with it. I even said when it would happen, right? I was wrong by 2 days when I said it would be January 8th, so sue me. But I told you that this would happen. Why did I feel so sure? Once BlackRock said, yes, we're in, there were others who didn't want this to happen. What does this mean? In other words, it means making a new banking system based on blockchain. They don't really want that because they like the way things are now, where they are looking for or taking rent. We were in as soon as they said we were. Why did that matter now? Because by January there were about $30 trillion worth of boomer assets, mostly boomer assets, under the control of financial planners. When those financial planners were told they had to get off of zero, they had to get off of zero by 10 basis points, which is $30 billion. If $30 billion were spent on Bitcoin, the price would change. But 1% is 300 billion, which isn't even a crazy number. 300 billion is more money than has ever been in the history of Bitcoin. It's also more cash than has ever been turned into Bitcoin in its 15 years of existence.